So again, this is Sir Shankar, and in the uh, next part of the same lesson, that is like fire and the fire friend and foe. We have already started, and in the first part we stopped where that the fire, this temperature is called the flash point or kindling temperature of the fuel. There we stopped. Okay, so again today in this video we will see the other part of the lesson. For instance, we use it to cook our food, or warm our homes in winter and to generate electricity. But on the other hand, if fire gets out of control, it can be very dangerous. Each year, each year, each year, thousands of homes and shops are damaged by fire. Vast areas of forest are also destroyed, and hundreds of people are killed or injured. So, what is there? Uh, it is sometimes said that fire is. We know that the fire is very useful for us in many ways, and it is a good servant, but a bad master also. If we use it in a proper way, then it become a good servant, and if we use this fire very carelessly, then it will become a very bad servant. This is what it mean by this line. It only means that fire is very useful as long as it kept under control. If we keep the fire under control, then it will be useful. If it is out of control, no, then it will be very dangerous. So for instance, like we use it to cook our food, warm our homes in winter, and to generate electricity. There are many ways that we can use fire, like to cook our food, warm our house in winter, and what to generate electricity also. uh, Generate means to produce, but here electricity means what? That lamp, light, candle, so all these are also a source of electricity only. So this is what here mean, to generate electricity. But on the other hand, if this fire gets out of control, then it becomes very very dangerous. Each year, thousands of homes and shops are damaged. Thousands of homes and shops are damaged by fire, and the forest areas are also destroyed. And if the forest catches fire, then what it happened? Many hundreds of people are killed, and not only that, the animals are also they are killed. Just as three things are needed to start a fire, there are three main ways in which a fire can be put out. So three things are needed to start a fire. Yes. So what was there? Oxygen, then fuel, then the carbon and hydrogen, right? So these are the three things are required to start a fire, and we also need three main ways are also required in which fire can be put out means bujhana, no. In each one of the three things needed for burning is taken away. For example, like we can take away the fuel, we can take away the fuel, we can take away the fuel. That by doing this, we can put out the fire. If the fire has no fuel to feed on, then no burning can take place. We often let a fire die out simply by not adding more fuel to it. What do we do? If we will not put more fuel there, then it will stop uh, fire. When the fuel will be over, then the fire also will stop. So if we stopped adding more fuel to the fire, then the fire will die. So this is the one way that we can put out the fire. And the other way, the second way of putting out a fire, is to prevent oxygen from reaching it. We should prevent oxygen to reach it. No supply of oxygen means no fire. If we don't give or if we don't give supply of oxygen, then there will be no fire. So this is what the second way. By not providing oxygen to the fire, then the fire will be uh, gone. Okay, there will be no fire. A small fire can be put out or smoother uh, with a damp blanket or a shake. If there is a small fire, then how we can put out? By we put over it a small blanket or shake. Why? So that that fire will not get the oxygens. So when the fire will not get the oxygen, then it will what? The fire, what it will happen? The fire, there will be no fire, right? So this is why you might have seen in many places when there is a fire, then the people they put the blanket over it, right? So this is another way where when we will not give a proper supply of oxygen to the fire, then the fire will die. This stops oxygen reaching the burning material, right? Sometimes carbon dioxide is used to extinguish fire. It does not allow oxygen to reach the burning material. Sometimes we use fire carbon dioxide is used to extinguish fire. We use carbon dioxide. What we use carbon dioxide. After using the carbon dioxide, what it happened? That carbon does not allow oxygen to reach the burning material. The third way of putting out a fire is what? Mm, if the temperature can be brought down below the flash point, if the temperature is bring down below the flash point, the fuel stops burning. If we bring the temperature below the flash point, then the there the fuel stops burning. You blow on a burning matchsticks. You blow on a burning matchsticks or a candle to put it out. In doing so, you remove the hot air around the flame, bringing down its temperature below the flash point. So when we blow the candle, or when we blow on the matchsticks when it is burning, then uh, we are reducing the what? Temperature. We are reducing the temperature below the flash point, and then afterward, after reducing the temperature there, uh, the candles goes out. Water, sometimes water is also sprayed on a fire, and after spraying the water, it absorbs heats from the burning fuel and lower the temperature. By doing this, it reduces the temperature. The blanket of water also cuts off the supply of oxygen, and the fire is extinguished. So the blanket of water also cuts off the supply of oxygens, and then the fire will extinguish. Some fires are there, like cannot be put out with water. Some fires, if uh, whatever fires that we cannot put out with water, we will not throw the water on that type of fire. If water is spread onto an oil fire, if the water is spread onto an oil fire, the oil will float on the top of the water and continue to burn. It will not stop burning. Okay, if water is spread where on an oil fire, on an oil fire, then the oil will float on the top of the water. The oil will float means तैरना, no, that is called float. Here you see, what does it where is that word? Here, float. We got it, float, it means तैरना. So will float on the top of the water, and the fire, it will continue to burn. This can be very dangerous because water can flow quickly. This can be very dangerous because fire will uh, flow very quickly, carrying the burning oil with it and spreading the fire. So that's why we should not put or throw water on such type of fire when there is an oil fire is there. Water should also not be used on fire caused by electrical appliance. If there is a fire on electrical appliance, then we should not put fire on them. So the fire spraying water might receive an electric shock. The fire, what the person who is spraying the water should get an electric shock and be killed. So we should not throw the water on the fire on the fire caused by what electrical appliance. Where we will not throw the water, we will not throw the water on the fire which is caused by electrical appliance. If we do this, then the person who is spraying the water, he or she might receive an electric shock and may killed also. So a carbon dioxide extinguisher is the best thing the fire to fight an electrical fire. If we use this carbon dioxide extinguisher, then this is the best thing to fight an electrical fire. Otherwise, if we throw water and all, then the person who is spraying, he or she might receive an electric shock. So that's why this is very important, that we need to keep in our mind that whenever there is a fire on electrical appliance, that we should not throw what water. We spend millions of rupees each year. So the other part we will see in the next video. Okay.